Chris, for the sake of clarity, was very well connected and the DA refused to acknowledge it as anything other than an accident, and they even tried to gaslight me into believing that I was parked in a really weird spot. Chris had just swerved to avoid hitting a cat and had unfortunately ended up crashing into my car. I later found out that Chris was related to a really wealthy businessman, probably his nephew or something. I'm not sure, but anyway, that was how he managed to dodge the law. The car would be taken care of by my insurance company since I'd been in an accident. I had all the proof, and the police report said so as well, but I wasn't satisfied with just that. This
God
Chris
damn
guy
it.
had literally hit my car head on and was most definitely drunk, so he owed me a lot more than a weak apology. There was also the issue of my health care because I had to bear the entire cost of my visit, trust me. It was an insane amount since I had to get some tests done, an x-ray. I had to pay for the collar plus medicines, and all of it came up to almost $2,000. My insurance wouldn't cover all of it since I didn't have to stay overnight, and neither did I have to spend 24 hours. I run my own small-scale bakery business, and I can afford to live nicely. I have a small apartment of my own, and I can afford renting, gas, electricity, water, and all the other essentials, and I can even afford to splurge once in a while, but the hospital bill is huge, and I absolutely cannot just afford to drop that sort of money without disrupting my budget for the month, and I can't exactly skip on anything else either. I still have to pay my bills and buy groceries and stuff, but tried my best not to feel inferior. Maybe being a baker wouldn't make me as wealthy as he aspired to be, and maybe it wasn't an important career, but I did what I loved. I had fun doing what I do, and most importantly, I didn't rely on my boyfriend, so he had no right to make me feel that way. I didn't speak to him after that because I was very hurt about what he said. So I approached a cousin of mine who just started out, and she was more than happy to help me file a petition against Chris. I didn't tell my boyfriend about any of this, and he set my mind to break up with him by the end of this week because he'd been really disrespectful, and I wasn't going to stand for it. But before I could call him, he decided to contact me. Yesterday, Chris was notified of the litigation process, and apparently he'd hired my boyfriend to represent him in court. He called me to warn me. He said that I needed to be careful because I'd be up against a really good lawyer, so my case needed to be airtight. He even suggested that I stop the proceedings and settle out of court because if I did go ahead, I was destined to lose. I knew that this was just another guy's way to play mind games with me and intimidate me into backing off, but it wasn't going to work. I did feel bad about the way my boyfriend was acting though. For some reason, he thought this was funny. I was already hurting not just physically but also emotionally, and that was enough to send me over the edge. So I told him it was a good thing that we were already in court because now I could win since it had turned into a conflict of interest with me. After saying that, I disconnected the call, and since I still wasn't feeling satisfied with what I'd done, I decided to call his sister up and tell him what he'd done too. His sister and I are really close, and we've been for 5 years. We became friends in college and after graduating, she invited me to the college Thanksgiving dinner 1 year before I got my boyfriend. I told him all about what he'd done, the fact that he was about to defend a guy who was obviously been drinking and driving, knowing that his family was all in cars. He was trying to report to me what my lawyer said.
Great parts to this, by the way.
They're all really into activism and are very strict about the causes they support, but my boyfriend doesn't really care. It always felt strange to me, but now I guess he's just not a very socially conscious guy, and I've just wasted half a year of my life trying to be with someone who had no principles and would do anything for money. He's constantly at odds with his father, who's also an ex-lawyer, but is active in the circuit and usually finds out what cases his son chooses through someone who knows someone, so my boyfriend can't exactly hide anything from his family either. His sister was also not on board with what he'd done and the way he was behaving, so she promised me that she'd look into it and make sure he apologized. She couldn't guarantee that he backed out of the case, but she said that she'd make sure he was sorry for making me feel small and being arrogant. She told me that he had already not been on good terms with his family for a while now, and what I told her just made it very clear to her that her brother was going down the wrong path and that she couldn't take it. She thanked me for telling her and even advised me to dump him because he'd lost sight of what was important because of how ambitious and greedy he'd become. She even seemed pleased when I told her that I'd already left him, so that was how bad his relationship with his family was now. I can't say I'm surprised since his family has always tried to be ethical, and his sister would constantly complain about the kind of people my boyfriend would choose to defend in court just because it paid well. I didn't like it much either, but I tried to stay out of it as much as I could since I didn't think it was my place to talk about how he worked and what clients he represented. He didn't talk about my work, so I didn't want to overstep my boundaries either, but this time, I was involved directly and he'd insulted me far too much for me to keep it quiet anymore. Within half an hour of my phone call, my boyfriend started calling me relentlessly. I decided to answer him after almost 10 missed calls, and he immediately started apologizing for the way he behaved and said that he'd just been joking earlier. I told him that I wasn't going to forgive him because he'd really hurt me, and I also told him that now his family was also aware of the situation, so he could expect a call from his parents soon enough as well. That's when things got bad, and now I think I might have been an for getting his family involved. He told me that I had no right to speak to his family no matter how hurt I'd been. They'd already been helping him to work for better clients, and now it was about to get worse just because of what I'd done. He was really unhappy about that decision. longer together, so that's nothing to do. Sure. Hung up after that for months. We're supposed to appear in the local small claims court, and I know it's not a very high-profile case. I've only filed a claim of $5,000 since I think I'm going to make it. I'll definitely have to visit the hospital in the future. Cross my neck after this. I'm still worried that I might lose because my boyfriend is a good lawyer, but I know he rarely ever loses. Also, I think I might have overstepped my bounds. I shouldn't have told his sister like a tattletale.
Shut the fuck up,
He's
please.
a 30-year-old man, after all, fully capable of making his own decisions, so maybe he's right and I really was out of line. Now I'm considering just cutting my losses and apologizing. I don't know if that'll solve anything, but I can at least try. So should I do it?
No, you fucking idiot. That has to be a fucking rage bait or something.
Who is certainly guilty?
Like, what the fuck?
Hey, so I decided not to apologize to my boyfriend because I was done wrong.
You're being an idiot,
I
dude.
read all the messages here. I went through the comments on my post. I talked to my parents and a few friends of mine, and I really thought about this long and hard. There's just no conceivable way that I'm in the wrong here. He messed with me, so I messed with him. Tit for tat. And if he wasn't in the wrong here, he wouldn't be getting so defensive either, so it's clear who has a guilty conscience in this situation and is trying to hide it by talking a big game and being overconfident. He might be a skill lawyer, but I have the truth on my side, and I have full faith in myself and my cousin. That's all I need anyway, so he can say whatever he wants, but it's not going to faze me. I also found out that this Chris guy actually went to high school with my boyfriend, and they have a couple of friends in common. I guess that explains how he seemed to know who I was talking about when I mentioned Chris earlier. His sister was actually the one who told me about this, and it all finally made sense. All of them went to the same high school, and she knew that Chris was an exceptionally spoiled and entitled brat who'd grow up to be nothing but a wastrel. He'd partied his way through life, and now, in his late 20s, he was still struggling to find his footing in any job and was a high-functioning alcoholic. It just pissed me off to know that this guy still had a license and a nice car in spite of his alcoholism. Just because he was related to the right people and was rich enough to get away with whatever he wanted. While I still had my car in the repair workshop and had to wear a collar so that my neck would heal and would have to take painkillers every other day just to be able to work. It was so unfair already, and my boyfriend choosing to represent this idiot instead of me was the cherry on top. I guess some people really do think money comes over morals, but it's okay. That just tells me what kind of person he is. His sister also told me they got into it with money. I had less to do. His dad decided to talk about race. He wouldn't sit down and talk to him. He got to choose not to defend this guy or his family. We severed ties with him, and that led to a lot of drama, but eventually, my ex decided to step back and cut his parents off. Yeah, because he was getting paid a hefty amount to defend Chris, and there was no way he was letting that go. He wouldn't even choose his own family over money, so I've been really damn stupid to think that he'd choose me over money. At least I know where I stand now, and so does his family. We're supposed to meet in court tomorrow, and I'm nervous, but I also know that I'm being honest here, and it just strengthens my faith in myself. Also, the fact that even strangers on the internet are on my side all the time speaks volumes about this right and wrong. Hopefully, the judge will also
Go to Dragon Barrel West, right over here.
They're all really into activism and are very strict about the causes they support, but my boyfriend doesn't
Oh,
really care.
there's a thing.
It always felt strange to me, but now I guess he's just not a very socially conscious guy, and I just wasted half a year of my life trying to be with someone. Update 2. So this is the night before the hearing, and my ex just sent me a message. You remember saying that there's still...
You're no matter how you're up. Back already, no matter. Well, I took you no matter to lay out your arm. Back all no matter.
Back shots, bitch! That's what you get. You get back shots for fucking with me. I gave you those back shots, motherfucker. Don't test me. Those back shots go crazy.
You there? It's tightly. The guard you breached. Well, but of course.
The gates! Open the gates!
What's it to you? Step back, you tarnished. It's always me. What did I do? Well, I took you no man to lay out your own.